leadership to me means the ability to influence and empower others. So let's say to tap into their own leadership potential for the greater good. Yale Law School did a lot for me. For one, I was in my late 20s. I had worked for 10 years before I even considered applying to law school. And I did not apply to Yale right away. I was advised to go to law school and I chose UNC Chapel Hill. It was nearby. I was fortunate that I was admitted and got good money, scholarship. And so I went without a lot of forethought, I have to say. I had a good year. I worked very hard. And during that summer, I worked for two professors. And they both said to me right away, "What are you doing here?" And I thought, "Going to school, what do you mean?" So I came to understand over the course of the summer that there was something called transferring. I didn't know you could. And they each encouraged me pretty vociferously and persistently to apply. And I went to talk to my small group professor there at Chapel Hill, and he said, "You should apply." So I did, and I got in. So thankfully, by the end of the first term, I was able to, join in and felt that perhaps I had something useful to say. So I would say that Yale broadened my vision, both of the world and of my ability to participate in it. The first thing I learned is sometimes you just have to stand alone in the face of absolute insanity. You just do. You trust your gut, you trust God, you stand. And it's scary, but you have to do it. And then the other thing is you have to know when to reach out for help. I also learned that in the face of obstacles, you may get help from an unexpected source. So I would say faith, family, some courage, and collaboration, looking for help and finding help from others. I really sort of stumbled, I backed into it. Some people started sending people to me as an executive coach. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Working primarily with women of color who are mid-career, not-for-profit, for-profit partners, whatever, having a ball. And then at the same time, I'm working with institutions, organizations, law firms, law schools like this one, to think about leadership development and how can we grow the next generation of leaders for the world that we are creating, which is a complicated one. I think you should learn everything that everybody else does, because you never know, and particularly if you know now that you are less likely to pursue a traditional path, all the more reason to learn everything you can. This is a great place to learn. And one of the things I loved, and still am in awe of, is the student-faculty ratio. So I would say don't short shrift yourself by assuming that you don't need to know black letter law or that you don't need to do barristers union. Do that. And then you can apply all of the things that you learn to your deliberations as you decide how you will live out in the world. I was president of BALSA. I ran the Street Law Project. I worked on Greenhaven, and then was on the board of the Yale Law School Women's Organization. So yeah, but I think all of those organizations and others as well felt that at that time, unlike now, there was not a lot of practical experience. There were a few clinics. We were all competing for the same slots. I mean, I understand we have to know about law on Mars. I understand that we have to know about philosophy and law and the Japanese. I mean, it's fabulous, the intellectual curiosity and achievements. But in the end, if you're going to be an everyday lawyer, you have to know what a complaint looks like. You have to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to interview witnesses. You have to know how to listen. We weren't taught that. So I've been very excited about the Leadership Program because I feel that those skills, particularly in this chaotic world we're living in now, are even more essential. And we expect Yale lawyers all kinds of lawyers, but particularly Yale lawyers, to be leaders. They're going to be deans. They may be presidents. They're going to be senators. They're going to be Congress women. They're going to run towns. They're going to be mayors. And they're also going to run law firms and not-for-profits, all that. They better know how. Just because you're smart doesn't mean you're a good leader or manager. We've all learned that. So I'm excited about the opportunity to share, develop leadership skills in the law students we know will be leaders in the future.